Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Digestion Diaries. I'm Dr. Piken, and the question of the day is, how do you choose what to eat? Well, why do you eat in general? And the concept I'm trying to get to is, some people eat for nourishment. Some people eat for just the taste of it. Some people use food as medication to make them feel good because they're feeling so bad inside. And I just want to get you to think about how you eat differently. And the word I really like to use time and time again is nourishment. When you're looking at something you're about to eat, what I just want you to do is ask yourself a question. Is this nourishing to me? Nourishing. Does it give me vitality? Does it improve who I am? Is it going to feed my body? Is it going to feed the microbiome? Is it going to feed properly the bugs that live in my gut? Is it giving me fiber? Is it giving me vitamins? Is it giving me good proteins? Or is it just to make my taste buds happy and my brain happy for a short couple minutes? Maybe even seconds if you're a really quick eater like I am sometimes. So that's the question I want you to ask yourself. Are you nourishing yourself or not? And how I get around this is I nourish myself almost every single meal. I said almost because I'm not perfect and I don't expect you to be perfect. Yet I set my days up to where I spend most of my day simply figuring out what foods can I choose that nourish me, that get all my requirements of the day. And then how will I reward myself at dinner, because that's the time I choose to reward myself. Not with necessarily junk, but with something that may be not as nourishing all the time. So what I want to do is I want to make sure I hit certain requirements. I want to make sure I get half my body weight in ounces of water. So I have to set up my day like that. I want to make sure that I get about 40 grams of fiber in my diet. So what do? Is I have to look for high fiber foods that sit well with me, that I like to eat, and I look to get those in my system. Now, where are the best sources of fiber? Are fruits and vegetables, of course. If you're not sensitive to grains, you're not working on something, then you can use whole grains and add that fiber. I love avocados as a source of fiber. And you just got to choose whatever you want. But what I do is I set up my day to where I'm getting these requirements in. No matter how the food tastes, I kind of don't care. I don't look to get enjoyment out of every single meal. You see, we've got 3 meals a day at least, unless you eat 4 or 5 times a day. If you're doing some intermittent fasting, maybe you only have 2 meals a day or 1, but you have another meal within at most 24 hours. Most people have another meal coming 3-4 hours later, 5-6 hours later. So the choices you make in your food shouldn't matter that much. You can just nourish yourself and pick that plain grilled chicken with some broccoli, even though you want a hot dog with mustard and sauerkraut and ketchup. I don't know. You can nourish yourself with a salad with some beans in it, rather than having the Chinese food or the pizza for lunch, just because it's quick and easy. See, if you think about how am I going to get all my requirements for food in and nourish yourself, by the time you hit dinner, if you feel like you've nourished yourself really well, then give yourself a little bit of slack. That's it. You know what I crave for dinner? Most of the time it's more nourishment. Do I then have dessert after it? Sometimes. Okay, it's not so bad as long as I'm feeling good about myself. But here's a typical structured day just so you can hear what I eat. Okay, so first thing in the morning is I'm going to have some protein very often. A lot of times I'll have a couple bites of grilled chicken that's left over, or some turkey bacon. Occasionally it's eggs. Yes, I'll have some protein. When my body's feeling good, I'll have some pistachios or cashews, nuts and seeds, something with protein and a little nourishment, and then I take my vitamins. Okay, so that's one thing I do. Then I have coffee on my way to work. Or if I don't go off to work, I just have coffee. Unless I'm fasting, then I skip all that and just have the coffee and fast for a while. But on the days when I do eat a few times a day, 4 or 5 times a day, this is how it goes. So protein, a little bit of fat, vitamins, coffee on the way to work or coffee after that. In the middle of the day, I tend to have a shake. What I've been using for many years is Ultra Inflamex, which is a shake from Metagenics. That's really nourishing to me because I don't have time to grab a full meal. I want something to eat, and it's anti-inflammatory. It's a multivitamin. It gives me healthy fats. It gives me nutrients to calm and heal my digestive tract, and it just works for my body and makes me feel good. So that's my mid-morning meal, I'll call it. And then about 2:30, when I'm taking a break for lunch, I'm gonna have a salad. That's my 90% go-to. I put it in my book, just eat a freaking salad already. So I tend to have a salad for lunch, and then what do I have for dinner? It's a protein vegetable combination. Do I always get that? No. Sometimes we don't have anything prepared and it'll be a gluten-free pasta with vegetables, but there's almost always a vegetable in there. But it's nourishing, and when I get all those requirements in, if I'm still feeling a little mentally stressed because it was a really busy day and I didn't get enough food to wind me down to make me feel good, yeah, I'll have some chips or some pretzels or some chocolate. Just go ahead, but if you put in that little bit of junk at the end of the day after you've nourished yourself the whole way, well then let it happen. It's okay, as long as you're not working on a detox or something and breaking your rules. So all I want you to do, the lesson of the day, is try not to think about what I feel like eating. Ask yourself, how can I nourish myself today so I can reward myself, if you want to call it that, later with something that just makes my brain happy. Hope that little tip helps. Have a great day.